back to the Ascendant lands. Last time we left off, I thought you guys were a bit rushed in the morning, so we've wound back time a little bit. You've still gotten the torch. Yeah, you've still gotten the torch from the Church of Lathander or the temple, depending on. You're currently in Talari's room as standard, about to prepare for your plans and confirm things before you full on go out and meet the fellow Caravaneers and head off your way through the mists. So it's been a nice morning, pretty uneventful. Talks of a potential breakout of some kind in Moradin City. Who knows what might be happening there. But yeah.
A necromancer's coming after Krusk to kill him.
It'll be fine.
Talari will have the Book of Holg open at the relevant pages, so she can easily flick between the two, like mark them, to show everybody. Yeah, so sort of. I don't know if the rooms have like any kind of table or anything. If not, then she'll put it on the bed. Yeah, so basically, everyone's put it in the middle, so everyone can kind of sit around it and see. Right. I mean, they're bad enough as it is. This part here, you see these bits where they're in their lair and generally around the area, not so much fun. Also suggests this is why there's mist as well.
Hey, is that why there's mist all over the place? Like, just this one dragon making the whole place misty?
It certainly seems that way. Whether it is actually what it is, if that is what it is, who knows? But it's probably a contributing factor.
So we could be helping people here.
Potentially. Who knows? Who could be worth seeing if there's a bounty for getting rid of the mist? Who knows? Although I would imagine most people just believe it's a usual environmental phenomenon.
But now we have the information, we can persuade people even more to join our cause.
Depends how much you really
what
know.
being a champion's all about.
Hey man, everyone wants to be a champion one day. Everyone.
But no, have you asked yet? What you're agreeing to?
Not yet. We haven't really had time to sleep and.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, our character, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Okay.
Got you.
It's a following sleep.
Serious.
Following sleep. Okay.
Time. It's a timey-wimey thing.
Yeah.
I've just thought of something though. If it really is a dragon causing the mist, does that mean the lanterns actually just don't do anything? Because
No, I think.
You think they did jack shit anyway?
You got it.
If it was like an evil spirit or something before, I thought they might. But
I
if
think
it's like an evil dragon,
less likely to fall into traps.
yeah.
Maybe.
You got the torch in your hand.
I mean,
Wouldn't it-
it
To
could.
be
Wouldn't
fair,
attract-
like a
wouldn't it
torch
attract
in
the
the
dragon?
mist doesn't do that much.
Wouldn't it attract the dragon?
I wouldn't have thought so. I would actually venture a guess that these dragons don't venture too far out of their lair. After all, if they can do all these things when in their home domain, why would they venture out of it? Why not send your little minions to do
dragon with
it?
minions to send out to like fetch me loot and things, I wouldn't go out either. I'd
What's
just
up,
sit there
minions?
and like.
The
Is that a
dragons?
thing?
Dragons have minions. Is that like a thing?
Well, it's not like
Yeah,
it's
kobolds. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the kobolds are.
Yes.
They like worship them.
Generally
Oh, I don't
speaking.
know that. Kobold.
That is an interesting thing.
Actually, is kobold
they-
in the book?
That's a good
I was
question.
going to say, this is
It's a
Turi not
dragon.
knowing.
They worship evil dragons as demigods and serve them as minions.
I
and
wouldn't
things.
worry about them, and they're not too much of a risk. They seem to go down quite easy with my hammer in my dream.
Yes, well,
Have you-
in your dream.
Dreams! I mean, I'm
In
sure
my
you've
dream.
done a lot of stuff in your dreams.
That's-
In your waking hours, you can't even kick my ass, let alone a dragon.
I mean, she has a point.
I don't know
there,
what you're talking
Thoradin.
about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Concept inspired.
Yes.
So, for reference, normal kobolds definitely are
Yep.
in the things, but there are rumors of others types of kobolds, but
Yeah. Well,
they haven't been categorized in
Yeah.
the Book of Holg.
I mean that's fine. I mean, even if we've got this one, it's enough, I suppose, to base it on.
Do we have any illusions or anything like that?
No, I don't.
Wizard,
No, I don't either.
you should know.
Well,
Why the
if
fuck
this
would
would
I have an illusion?
this
Well,
would
the
this
mystical one.
this would at
Well, it
least
was more aimed at Talari, so you can just.
this
give
would
it a
this would suggest that they hunt in packs, so they can
kobolds.
outnumber us. Yes,
Right.
they don't like
I think-
sunlight. So if we could generate sunlight, could be handy. Although Turi might not be too
Generate
fond.
sunlight.
I can put my hood up.
I don't
Matt,
know.
Rather
That's
you
why
didn't.
Turi's got the hood. That's why Turi's got the hood, so that she
when to
can.
Put it up.
The-
Don't worry.
The lantern
did-
doesn't really work
The
as light.
dragons like normally work together. Like, do we feel like they'll be on quite good terms with each other, or?
Dragons.
Generally speaking, these probably from history and like those kind of talk. Dragons generally don't like work. Like the older the dragon you are, the more likely you are to covet your own horde and be jealous of the people or other dragons. But younger dragons, I mean, they're not as strong as the older ones, so they're likely to go out on their own and clan up together. So there's been two potentially adult dragons. They could have grown up
Against the
together,
other.
and
I mean,
you know,
they could be an item. You don't know.
Or siblings, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
was
was
thinking maybe we could try and turn them against each
Maybe
other
there's a
somehow.
clutch of little dragon eggs in there somewhere.
That
Actually,
would be
that's a
great.
good
We can
thought.
take
If there
them
is,
hostage.
they're really not going to want us invading.
Yes, I don't think if they did have dragon eggs, Krusk, I don't think keeping them hostage is a good idea.
No.
That's
think
Do
it's
not
a great
try
idea.
to take a
Kill
dragon
very,
baby
very
hostage.
quickly.
It will bite you, and then its mama will eat you whole.
No, we're talking
What
about
the
eggs
fuck?
here. We're talking about eggs here, right? I'm definitely taking some eggs hostage if I find
You
them.
can't hold
Alright,
it to
an egg,
ransom the
right, okay, the
dragons.
egg won't bite you, but mama will still eat you whole. Like,
yes.
Because
a
I'll have
fucking
her eggs.
mother bear is bad enough if you piss them off. A dragon is just going to be a whole shed ton worse.
But we
do you
get
really
another
want
layer.
the dragon focusing specifically on you, Krusk? Like, think about that first.
Yeah, there's not going to be enough left of you to make
An
a fucking
adult
spear
dragon
I
on
wouldn't
the
focusing
wall.
And I-
when they're
specifically on you.
I will 100% gaseous form that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Does
That fucking
gaseous,
dragon
gaseous
doesn't like
form cover
How
the
long
egg?
does it last?
It will do if I'm holding the egg.
How
Yeah.
long does it last?
I mean, to be
Gaseous
honest,
form.
Krusk, I mean, it says here that dragons are pretty huge. I don't really want to know how big their eggs are. Probably bigger than you are.
Hmm.
You may not be able to lift one.
Dragon
Krusk,
has
we have to
done
get
what you
training.
Dragon quickly.
I've got one, guys.
It would suggest, however, if we end up doing this,
So,
which we haven't
is a
really
worm,
we
is a
haven't.
wormling a baby dragon? Sorry.
Yeah, Wormling's a baby dragon. Yeah.
Goblin's baby.
If we were to do this, bear in mind we haven't agreed to this yet. So getting them out of their lair would be a very good way to start. Separating them would also be better. However, the danger also runs in that we would also be separated. One thing we could potentially do, you've got your horn, Thoradin. Your horn could in theory take care of the one that your powers are useless against, while we take on the other one.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer. One without reducing our overall power.
I feel like
It's a
there's got to be a
reasonable
way
plan.
to turn the dragons against each other. If we can convince one, it can get like an
Dragons,
advantage. Maybe,
dragons,
or
are
that the other
supposed,
one's
dragons are
faster.
supposed to be very intelligent, Krusk. I don't think they're going to fall for your wily
Looks.
words.
I don't know. We've got. What do dragons want? They like territory and treasure, right? If one of the
Power and
dragons
money.
thinks the other one is crossing them or is working against them, it might get pissed off.
Yeah, and how are you going to get close enough to convince it that its mate's trying to, like...
Without
double
getting
cross
eaten
it?
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
What
we-
could do is take the trip, like, to gather information and shit, and then when we get to the other end, we'll
What-
have more information.
Sort of a DM question. Do we have the flavor text as well or not?
What do you mean?
So there's flavor text for the creature,
Which creature?
both of these, the dragons.
Uh huh.
Is that in the Book of Holg or not? Or is it just combat stuff?
Everything, anything on the page,
Okay.
just for ease.
So this part here potentially could help us. It says that the blue one is very fond of the color blue. Things like sapphires, jewelry that has sapphires in them, weapons and items that have sapphires in them.
Ooh.
Could be a potential way of
You bribe
distracting.
it with some sapphires.
Possibly.
Cover someone in
Please distract
sapphires.
it with some sapphires.
Covering somebody in sapphires might be a little bit extreme.
Take a lot of
Go on.
sapphires!
Just distraction.
Bring you to my horde now.
I mean, I don't really
Bye.
know how much sapphires cost, but I don't think we could afford to cover somebody in them.
You might be able to switch one out without diamond.
One thing that
An option.
one thing I do have that. Wait, do I have it actually? Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it?
We did have gems, didn't we? At one point.
Well, there is one thing I could possibly do, but I don't really know if it would necessarily work for a dragon.
What's that?
I have one of the
different colour.
yes and no. We would still require a sapphire without a doubt, but a spell that I have in my repertoire. I don't really have it at the moment, but I could do it if with a bit of rest. It's called Incite Greed. It basically makes that person want something and has an uncontrollable desire for it. If we got said sapphire.
What if you incite greed to make it want the other dragon's treasure hoard?
I need to be fairly close. I need to be fairly close though. Krusk. I don't. Yes, I don't particularly want to go too close to their stuff.
Let me just look up Incite Greed. Oh, okay, so you have to be near the treasure.
It's 30 feet. It's a 30-foot range, so I need to be fairly close.
Fuck! That would have been so good.
But if we had, you know, and I kind of need it to work on a gem because it's just a little bit the way it works and things like that. But
I think the problem with a spell like Incite Greed is that they have really big modifiers. It's really risky casting a kind of spell like that.
This is the problem, Krusk. Assuming you're talking about modifiers.
Yeah.
But I'll approximate it.
Yeah,
that's the problem, Krusk.
Okay.
As I was saying, dragons are very intelligent. They may not fall for something like that. Wouldn't hurt to use it.
Creatures themselves, they'll probably notice a trick like that.
But it couldn't hurt.
Very, very true.
Couldn't hurt to try at least.
It's an option.
I mean, it
It's
could
definitely
hurt
an
to try
avenue.
if you try it on and they take it.
Well, I could do it and then pass it to Thoradin.
Thoradin can run like fuck, yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about running,
Turi, I can sprint away.
Yeah, Turi could move potentially faster, but
pursued by a dragon.
Tiny little legs.
well, you only need to you only need to separate it and get it away from the lair. In theory,
all I'm going to say is, can you only do this to one dragon? Could you do it to both of them? Maybe get them to both want it and fight each other for it?
Yes, I mean technically, anyone who's
working on two dragons at once, and we just said the spell probably won't work because dragons will notice the magical bullshit.
The other opportunity with that is if they notice the magical bullshit, it's one thing that they notice, and perhaps they don't notice something else we do later.
I mean,
this is me trying to figure out how you put legendary resistance into an IC conversation.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I think we should avoid the dragons.
I mean, that's the thing. I've completely forgot about legendary resistance.
I'm sorry, Thoradin. I don't know. I think it's really risky.
Yeah, there's not.
Guys don't have faith or belief in us.
I want to believe Thoradin. I'm just struggling to get.
The more we kind of go through this list of things,
the more I think about it.
You're overthinking it.
I think we kind of have
all these dangers, but they might not use any of it.
Oh, but they're just not gonna. They're gonna let us take it.
They could be on a bad day.
So
we could hit them on a bad day.
Bad day. I don't think dragons have times of the month, Thoradin. I don't think that's how that works.
I'm not saying this. You can't just charge the fuck in and hope for the best.
I'm not saying charge in, but
I think
against the dragon.
We know a lot about them. We know a lot about what they can do in their own home, and we also know that we're about to experience the mist that they live in without necessarily having to target them. I think Nadia said it earlier, we should information gather, go to the next town, and replan from there, because our options are, possibly, in a town of violence, chances are we'll find some pig-headed assholes who are willing to die for gold and glory. No offense, Thoradin.
So we basically need a bunch of Thoradins.
yeah, you do. Just,
I mean, the only issue, I suppose, Thoradin, is if you do bring people with us, they will probably want a share of the gold.
Unless they die first.
Oh, they're probably all gonna die. Let's be honest.
I mean,
we
like
can help them out a bit, you know, if they do survive.
Let's be honest. We're paying them to be our meat shields.
Yep.
I mean,
we don't have to say that to them.
If they have a chance of surviving, they've earned some money, I think.
Well,
If they survive, yeah. If they're worthy enough, yeah.
Stabbing them up afterwards. What is wrong with you?
No, I'm not saying kill them. I'll pay them.
Krusk!
Oh, right.
they won't even know what hit them. Just a quick
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Thank you.
Save
Don't-
us,
We are
No.
not stabbing anybody in the back.
They'll be famous.
Or in the front.
No.
Or any other direction. If they're allies, you fucking wanker.
Not a stab, a lightning bolt.
Only a
Again,
coward stabs in the
no.
back.
Part of that sentence, Krusk.
Look, if we're going to have people to be our allies, they're our allies. We're not going to start killing them in the back. Seriously, this is not going good for your
neutral.
rep of trust.
What? Yeah. One other option, but then this might prove a bit more kind of what Turi was worried about. I have a spell called Banishment. I could pop one our way, and then we only have to deal with one of them. But as
For a minute.
for a minute, about a minute, you know, I can do it for.
I
But
feel like it'll be very hard to banish a dragon.
A dragon for a whole dragon for a minute.
yeah, there's no
Just
size
like
limit.
counter spell.
Fuck.
They
It's
don't
gonna
have.
be
Dragons can't
near
cast spells.
impossible to banish it. 'Cause
Well,
The fuck? Why do you
there's two
manage to
issues.
stop you doing that?
There's two issues. One, it's a charisma saving throw. Second,
Oh,
dragons have legendary resistance, which basically
Yeah.
says if they fail a
Exactly
roll,
that, Fuck no.
basically, it basically say if they fail a roll, they can choose not to fail.
Fucking banish it somewhere.
Yeah, it'll just go nope, and then it just passes. It can do that
we
3
can't-
times.
We have 3.
Yeah, each of them have 3 though. So
Each of them
Yeah.
have 3.
We-
That's
we
what I'm
can't-
saying.
we
If you
can't
can
waste
use one
spell
spell
slots.
slot and
No,
focus
it's a
on
waste, I
2.
think.
No, if you use one spell slot, focus on 2, and get them both to waste the legendary resistance on one thing, we do that at least 2 more times.
Talari would have to be in touch range of both of them to do that though, and they might just turn around like Dragon Breath.
no, banishment 60 feet. I don't have to touch
Oh,
them.
it's 60 feet. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Not. Still.
But it's
But
still
when
it's a
Dragon
cr-
can go 60 feet pretty quick. I don't
It's a-
think you should be in 60 feet of the dragon.
no. I
Suggesting if you
I don't
can-
think
if
any
you
of us should
can-
be within 60 feet of the dragon.
If you can make it
Yeah.
waste its effort on some
Oh, shit, man.
things early on,
Oh,
so we can
bullshit,
bring
yeah.
out the big guns later
I don't know, man. I think saving throws are a bad idea. I mean, just looking at them, +6 charisma save, +9. I just don't.
Are we having
Matt,
a conversation here or no conversation?
It's-
That's
they're
like
very-
I have
sideways?
mixed
They're very
Sorry.
intimidating. It's very difficult to talk about all these things in an IC context. It's really difficult.
No,
You're a clever
legendary
man,
resistance.
Sonny. I'm
what
sure
he's
you
saying.
can figure it out.
I'm trying
Matt.
really hard to, but it's difficult. But
Matt,
yeah,
do dragons ever take non-kobold servants? Like, is there any chance at all they'd be interested in like us following them?
It's certainly possible.
What's your plan this time?
I'm thinking we get close to the dragon and
We'll
we can get a
trade
bit
by
of
saying we
information
wanna
gathering.
join their cult or whatever the fuck it is, and then secretly stab them. I don't
Worship.
think that's gonna work.
We can play the long game, right? Even like we can just hang around the dragons a bit, get a bit of info.
How long are you willing to play?
yeah. How long is this
Don't
long
have
game?
Time.
I'd be down to infiltrate
Nah,
the dragon.
man,
inside. Why not?
That's way too long. That's way too long.
So the question you're posing is that to be able to like cushy up to a dragon and say like, I want to serve you,
Yeah.
you have to be willing to give up half of the stuff you're carrying because that's going to be very lucrative to the dragon, and to build trust with that dragon or dragons or everything in it. They're not going to trust you with Bahamut's breath.
Shit.
They're going to
about
take
to
it off
say.
you.
I can't lose that.
Starts with
That's
S
like
and
my
ends
sole
with D,
focus.
and they're gonna want it.
Well, I
So,
mean,
like
that could be our in.
weapons, magic things and stuff. Like if you're willing to give it over, like, and like willing
Nah,
to like
I'm
submit
not.
yourself to whatever they ask of you, like for sure, 100%. That's like definitely possible. But are you actually willing to do that?
They are
Hmm.
evil
No.
dragons.
We destroy them. We say, "Oh, we're going to give this up." Get next to them, and then we destroy them. Simple. That's our in.
Really
That's-
don't
that's
think
how we
that's
get
gonna
through the
fucking work,
door.
and I don't think we
Thoradin,
can get that close.
You've gone from a start to a finish and no middle.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that close.
I'm going
man.
back to plan B, which is we just avoid the dragons.
I
I think we avoid the dragons for the first run. We go through,
Yeah.
we information gather,
Hope we're
we
gonna
get
avoid them. We've got a bloody guarding job to do. That's gonna
Exactly.
go off his cloak of a fucking
we
dragon.
get
That's
to
isn't
the
it?
other village, And then maybe we find we're better in the mists than we think, and maybe we can do something. Maybe we
Maybe.
get there and we find some weird, cool dragon slayer person. Wink, wink, DM, wink, wink. And he's like, oh shit,
I don't know
like,
who you're
really,
talking to.
really good at beating things like this. And,
And
you know,
Thoradin,
stuff
no
like that.
attracting the dragons while we're there. In this first pass. Yes. Don't just go. You know, no insulting
I'll be
dragon
careful.
mothers or.
We cannot
know-
take them
We have a
while
job
we're,
to do.
yeah, while we're guarding people.
Hmm.
You and your champion can wait a while.
Do we even know the people that we're guarding and everything, how capable they are by themselves?
I think they're just merchants.
Mhm.
That was my
Just
impression.
There's a reason they're hiring guards, put it like that.
No, of course, but you know, some people have some capability, but they're too terrified to go alone. Some people are deciding to face dragons and need help. You know, there's a gauge.
So
No idea.
you were hired by a Minotaur strong man called Brogmir. He's the one who like physically hired you, and he's the like personal guard for Jaffa, a turtle, who's one of the Caravaneers.
Presumably at least competent in a fight.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's good to know. Is it you know, Krusk, all magic-y and stuff, and Talari, have you got anything that would maybe protect the caravans?
Mm,
Anything that shields them, or something? I don't know how magic works.
You get defensive magics.
nothing.
Whether we've got defensive magics is a entirely different question, of course.
How like long is like a cart? Because I know there's 4 of them.
I've got
Pretty
nothing.
fucking long. Couple of meters usually. Like a
Yeah,
car, I guess.
about 30 feet.
I was gonna say base it on
I'd
ours.
say.
My thing's more like
But
healing.
yours is probably the biggest, at 30 feet long.
My thing's more about healing
that's
people,
good.
not necessarily like protecting structures.
Yeah, I don't have anything that can protect like a big structure.
My
Oh,
hammer.
good, you both are really, really helpful.
Hey, I'm a hey, you say you can't. You know what? You say that next time you're bleeding profusely.
Okay,
Then we'll see how
sorry,
useful I am.
Absolutely not.
Protect
Krusk,
him,
you're
mate.
really helpful in this situation.
We protect them with ourselves.
No, I
Do it the
just, I'm
old-fashioned
just
way.
very
Yeah, the
aware.
old-fashioned way. That's it.
I'm
That's
just
it.
very, very aware we have a lot of offense and not a lot of defense.
That's the
Well,
problem.
You
Yeah,
know
I've
what
gone
they say
more
about a
offense.
good defense.
No one can destroy our defense. Wait, that didn't make sense. We don't need any defense. Our offense is too good.
Alright.
Okay.
Is there, is
Don't
there
worry.
anything else to discuss then? Otherwise, I think we might as well just head out, right? Like, we're just gonna
Yeah.
try and avoid the dragons and get these guys through.
Yeah, essentially, as
Like my
everyone
last
said,
night.
gather intel, keep an eye out. Especially if you can spot any kind of caves, caverns that could potentially have a big enough hole to fit a dragon. I mean, these things. I mean, this book says, you know, they're pretty huge, which is, you know, large, that big.
Can we not just
House.
like blow it up?
Arms around
No.
them now.
Squish them.
Oh, okay.
Squish them.
Again,
The dragon.
I think we should
TNT it.
probably not worry about
What's
the
TNT?
dragons and just try and get through the mist.
Yeah, let's just focus on getting them
That's
through
the
the
problem,
mist.
especially if Cockles
I'm not saying now, just like when we do actually
keep
fight them,
leaking out
can
on
we
us.
squash them?
And or demons, and all that necromancer that's out for Krusk's head.
Ah, he'll be fine.
But Nadia, what were you saying? You had a dream, something along those lines?
I said that I got an answer off
Oh,
Mogmouth
great.
the
What
other
was
night.
that?
They agreed to give us 2 medium options.
I forgot what our options were. What did we ask?
Medium options.
Yes, cool. Yep.
We wanted the diplomatic method, and then when diplomatic method fails, the brute force.
So we have a bit of both.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have a bit of both. They're actually surprisingly similar.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Is one hitting
Well,
them with
in
the pen,
terms of,
another one
like-
hitting them with the sword?
not quite.
Okay.
In terms of like what you're doing and why, they're similar in terms of like how you're doing it. They obviously differ wildly. So the first advice is first deal with Merkel, because then their bullshit isn't bullshitting everything else up.
Wise.
In both cases, it goes deal with Merkel, find evidence of the god who framed Tyr, like figure out who it is, either finding the evidence to convince other people or just figuring out who it is for ourselves. And then, if we're being diplomatic about it, go talk to the capital priest, basically bang the evidence on the table and go, listen up, you assholes. Or go and kill a god.
Wait.
Kill a god.
Yep, third one.
Hold a second.
Right.
You just said figure out who framed here. I thought we knew who framed here. Are we saying it wasn't Cleric who framed here?
We're saying we don't have any evidence.
No.
If we want to convince other people,
Just wasn't sure if Fogma was saying, oh,
But
it's,
isn't that what
it's
Arg-
actually someone else entirely.
But I thought wasn't that the whole thing with Arg and
we didn't get
Thingy?
our evidence then
We
because
didn't
that
have evidence
bloody
for Cleric.
cult head didn't know anything about Cleric. He believed
yeah.
that he
covered
was
his
following
tracks pretty
Tyr's.
well.
He believed he was
know.
following Tyr's will, and without his with him being a dupe, we had no evidence.
yeah. So how in the
And
world?
that was when it went sideways, because that was when Tyr was the one who got in trouble and not whoever was fucking with him.
So how are we supposed to acquire evidence or even kill a god in a place that we cannot get to?
Well, assumedly we
Vice.
can get them.
So, in order
I
to
don't know.
find the evidence, the advice was, if we've got an idea, which we do, head to their city. Their high priest will probably be in on whatever the god is up to, because the high priest is that god's channel on this plane.
Right.
They will probably have some evidence somewhere. So I don't know, kidnap them, thieve from them, whatever.
All right. Talari will get the map out and try and
Go-
find where anything
the-
Cyric
okay.
settlement is.
Turn them upside down and shake them until something falls out of their pockets. You know.
Terry is very uncomfortable with the idea of going to a city
Cleric.
for
I'm not. I
specifically.
also don't want to go there.
Everyone.
What's the advice for the god killing thing?
Well, both are prerequisites,
then-
isn't it? Because we need to know which god it is, don't we? So, and if it is end up being
Yeah.
Cyric, we're going to need to go to his place anyway. So,
We'll have to
Yeah.
go to his city anyway, because their high priest is probably the one who can get us
Cyric Town. Here we go. Number 2.
into their domain.
That's far.
Okay, so either way, we're gonna have to go
Yeah.
there, and then we either kill
Either
him
way,
or
the
get evidence.
advice is to go there. Basically wring the truth out of the high priest, and then either take it to a bunch of other people and go, "Here you go. It wasn't basically Tyr was innocent. Lock somebody else up instead, or ring a way of getting to the god out of the high priest and go and give the god a kicking."
Surely Cyric will just vaporize us the instant we set foot in his realm.
There are ways
Can
and
we
ways
fight
of
him?
giving a god a kicking. There's been an ascendancy for the last however long.
Yeah, but we don't really have a ascendancy ritual at our disposal.
No, but if they have means of weakening
Yet.
gods, we just take that with
Yeah.
us.
Nobody ever said this was going to be fucking easy, guy.
I feel like the
Kenny,
difference
get
is,
out.
like,
Crusk.
much
Swearing up to
easier.
half
Krusk.
Pantheon, nobody thought it was
Do
going
you-
to be easy.
Do you remember Tyr Town? What they had in the fights over there? And that whole thing with the
The
tournament?
potions.
The potions that weaken people? There's no...
Oh.
They have a god version of that. It works pretty much in the same way, I would imagine.
Do they?
I mean, it sounds like it. They do the same kind of thing. One does it on mortals, one does it on gods.
Have you ever
Yeah.
seen? Did you see Tyr come down drink it? Or no, I guess he didn't. He didn't really play by the rules of the ascendancy. But
Oh, well,
I don't know when the
No.
last ascendancy was, but I'm pretty sure we were all too young to see it. I imagine it's
No.
got...
Arthur might have been
But
around.
it's
Right.
it's all held in the capital, so no.
Right,
Goes
right.
in the
So we've never seen it, okay.
It's all
Yeah, so
rumor
the-
and
if we
Yeah.
want to be diplomatic about it, we've got to basically talk to everybody, gather as much evidence as possible.
So I guess the question here is order of events. Do we sort out this Merkel medallion? Or do we...
Probably best to do that first.
I mean, we're right next door anyway. For the Merkel thing.
And it
We're
looks
on
quite
the way
handy. We
anyway.
can... From there,
Go
we
to
can
the
kind
right,
of
yeah.
go right.
Also,
go
if we
across.
sort it out, we have an ally. Either Mistra because we've helped Mistra, or Merkel because we've set them free.
But you guys aren't helping Mistra. You're doing what she doesn't
That's
want.
why I said, or Merkel.
So it is
You
Merkel,
haven't
not
convinced
all
us
Mistra.
enough.
Mistra or Merkel.
You saying Mistra is still on the cards? Because I think we should help Mistra then. I thought we'd already made a decision about this.
Apply this bit of attention, and quite frankly, at the moment, I don't give a flying fuck. Because the thing is we don't actually know what they're going to do with it. So we could go to Mistra City and be like, so it's not actually a demon. What are you planning on doing with this god? And if they say we're torturing him for 1,000 years because we don't like the look of his face, we can say fuck you and leave. You know?
True.
I could probably ask Mistra if we're interested in having it as an option.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Be interesting to see what her stance is if after learning the truth.
Yeah, what she says her stance is anyway.
Yes.
If she's quite capable of fucking lying as much as she likes, I guess.
Maybe we should zone of truth her, as Krusk
Oh
always says.
god, I'm not sure. A god of magic, I'm really not sure you're supposed to take. I'm just gonna put that one out there. She, quite like the dragon, will probably just go, haha, fuck you.
She's saying it completely straight-faced, though. Because obviously, you know...
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, look, if our ultimate goal is to deal with all this stuff, then giving the medallion to Mistra is the quickest way to resolve the situation here.
Depends
And
on
then we can
what...
move on
Again,
to
depends on what she plans on doing with it.
Yeah.
Once she
We
learns...
were interested in the quickest one, Krusk.
Aren't we? Because it's going to take a long... We're going to have to do a lot here if you want to deal with Merkel. Your other option, which is gathering all the 5 pieces. And
Well, not necessarily,
Nadia.
because if our benefactors have the other 3, it should be relatively quick.
But we have to
Trick
still
is
get it
getting them
off them,
off
right? Yeah.
Well,
Whereas
we would have to
Takes a
encounter...
lot more effort
but-
getting the other 3 off of them.
Well, yeah,
than
but...
it will giving her to go, here you go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
With R2, won't it?
But at least we won't have to try and look for
Work out-
them.
Well, this is the thing. We can work out if we think it's worth it. At the moment, we know jack shit. Apparently, talking to Ogma is rubbing off on me.
I'm always going to vote we turn it over to Mistra.
I know.
We know, Krusk, we
You
know.
told
I think
us
it's
what
the-
you're going to vote any
I think
time
it's the
these
quickest
last
way.
10 days.
I think it's the quickest way to resolve the situation. We're going to be bogged down here for ages.
Opinion
Otherwise.
has been duly noted, Krusk. It was duly noted the last 3 times you said it as well.
Well, then we can keep discussing it, right? Until we decide what to do.
Well, Krusk,
Can
again,
we
why
get
don't...
on with the job we're supposed to be doing today?
Can you wait until we're done with the conversation before you try and hurry us up?
You're the one who's like, we can sit here and discuss it till the cows come home. I'm reminding you, we don't actually have forever.
Exactly. That's why we should do the quick option, which is giving
Well,
it
I
to
meant,
Mistra.
like, forever right now, as in we have to leave with a caravan at some point this morning, not sit during all day.
We'll take it.
Right.
We'll take it one step at a time. Krusk, you talk to Mistra. Find out. You know, after she knows Merkel is the one in it, what she plans on doing with this information.
You just want to specifically what she's going to do with the medallion.
Indeed.
If we hand it over.
Yes.
God inside it.
With Merkel inside it. With the fact that we are planning on freeing him. Want to see how she reacts to that information, because that will dictate a lot. While you're doing that, since obviously that has to be an overnight thing, we'll do our current plan of the mists, and doing that whole section.
Also, Ogma says that if we can give him information that he doesn't currently have, he'll give us some in trade.
Can't imagine what we would know that the God of Knowledge wouldn't know.
It's the stuff he doesn't know. He doesn't know who the other god champions are.
My favourite
Whoa.
ale.
We potentially know one, right? If Thoradin becomes a
I
champion.
have been thinking that.
Interesting.
I have been thinking that.
Yeah.
The trouble is, of course, is anything we tell him, he's then got and can trade to anybody else he likes.
That's fine.
It depends also what is the definition of a god champion exactly? How would one identify such a person? I
was thinking people like us. People who are being used as active agents of the gods' wills that aren't like their high priests and shit.
But
People
then-
like Thoradin.
Would he not know about Thoradin then? Or
Apparently doesn't.
what about me and Kellenvor?
He doesn't just, I don't know, he can't just like sit there looking at us through a like magnifying glass all day. He
Reads and stuff?
there are some things he needs to be told.
Oh, I see. Well,
Like, because the other gods don't want him knowing all up about their private lives, I guess, and therefore try and keep him out. Was the
well, I
impression
guess
got.
you could tell him that I guess would count as Kellenvol's
Yep.
champion. So you have that.
I don't know if you count as his champion.
Yeah, because
Not
Thoradin got
champion
made
level.
a specific offer to be champion,
I
which
don't
none
know.
of us have received.
Chosen not to be champion. I'm not
We
sure.
still
I'll have to
don't
consult
know.
my
Well,
dream.
worth it.
I'll have to consult my dream journal.
Yeah.
We still
yeah.
don't know what champion means, so
Well,
it could
exactly.
be
I
champion
will ask
because
him.
Talos seems very much a war kind of god. You may be his chosen because you seem more like a healer cleric person.
Be
You
the
don't know.
champion of a. You can be a peaceful champion.
Oh, can you?
In my opinion, I don't know. The gods
Just-
may not agree.
Just kill evil people. Yeah.
I said
Just kill
peaceful, not
bandits.
good, Thoradin.
Well, I'm not going around killing everyone. I mean, I've got a moral compass.
Only one. I can believe that as well. One moral.
The compass has been stuck for a long time.
You got one moral. It points to gold.
Steal from the rich. They don't need it.
Steal from the rich. Give to Thoradin.
yeah.
Would you not be
I-
amongst the rich now, Thoradin? I mean, you're pretty rich compared to us.
Pretty rich.
Yeah. But most dwarves are pretty rich. Like
I mean-
in the rankings, I'm probably not that rich compared.
Who knows? Who knows, Tony? Maybe you just share enough with these dragons in common. Maybe they'll be friends.
I mean, I could see myself
Kindred
getting.
spirit
You
and
know,
roast you on sight.
Could be.
unfortunately, they're in the way to my path.
They do not come under his one moral, and therefore must be disposed of.
I see.
I will take their loot. I won't share in their loot. I will take
But then
it.
the idea of you trying to like scurry off with an entire dragon's horde and like, an enormous sack
Bag of
on your
holding.
back.
Bag of holding.
Oh, you
Is
do,
it?
don't you? Yeah.
I just shovel it all
forgot
in.
About that.
Mhm.
Just shovel it all in.
Yeah.
And a bag of holding isn't infinite.
No, it's not.
True.
No.
But-
Just say.
You've got to be able to fit it through
We
the, like,
we
the
can
gap at the
we can
top
test
as well.
that.
Well, even internally,
That's
it's
that.
not. It's not infinite.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Checking how big it is.
But yeah, no. All right. Well, I
So
think
there you go. That's
have our
Ogre's
plan.
grand plan. I don't know how much you think of it, but that's what he said.
It's kind of didn't tell us too much that we didn't already know. But I suppose we asked for 2 half plans and not.
Not
You
one
know.
whole one.
But yeah.
No, he was saying definitely. Yeah, I asked him why bother with like what and start with dealing with Merkel. Why is it so important? It's like it will just help deal with the chaos that's going on. Either way, the goal of this is to end all the chaos that's going on. So anything that sort of steps you on the way to that is
I suppose it restores
Is good.
restores the balance somewhat, which
Yep.
could help stabilize.
Mm.
Makes sense to me. Okay, I guess we
Okay.
prepare and go.
Yeah.
So you gather all the rest of your supplies and head on over to the stables to meet up with your fellow caravaneers. So just lay out this map so it's easier to visualize the layout of the caravan once you're moving. But essentially you have Elazor Estidio and Ichiro. They are a traveling pair. Elazor claims to be a healer by trade, and Ichiro is her apprentice, but he seems to be more interested in playing his lute than of actually applying any kind of medical trade.
Maybe he's a bard.
Yeah, potentially a bard. So Ichiro is Tabaxi, Elazor is an elf. And then you have Jappa, the turtle. He's been very old. But looks like he's been around for a good long time. And you have Brogmir, his strongman, and he's the one who introduces everything, all the people to use it. He's like, yeah, these are all the people here today. We got a long old road to go, and road's not gonna get any shorter. Thoroughly is not. You got me here. I'm Brogmir. You got Jappa, Ichiro, and Azor there, and here's Hydro. He's a smith and likes to travel around from city to city.
Nice to meet you.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
wave. So yeah, so So as you could, so generally speaking, Thoradin's likely the most experienced of a caravan protectorate of all of you. Generally speaking, there's people to cover the front and people to cover the back, and then whoever's willing to be the fastest to like run in between or if no one's got any kind of magic between them to relay messages.
So that's me.
I guess it would make sense for me and Turi to be in the middle. I can at least heal from both sides that way. I have message. Do I have message? No, I don't have message anymore. Scratch that. I didn't say that. That was old. That was old.
I can run to either side to pass messages along, and I can quickly get to everybody to say haul ass or quickly stop.
Should we use dancing lights as like a flare? If anyone sees something, just send up a dancing lights.
Depends how much we can see in this mist.
Just surround us with dancing lights, maybe. Less sending up into the misty sky.
Yeah, I'll cast dancing lights as we move.
Do you want to take this lantern that never goes out up in front or behind? I suppose it would make sense to have this blessed one up in front.
Yeah, how are we distributing the party?
I'll go
Yeah,
at
so
the
it's up
front.
to you guys. Who wants to be at the front? Who wants to be the back? Obviously, you can change it around day by day.
Yeah.
I'll be middle.
As the things travel.
I'll probably go
It
in.
appeared to be at the front.
I'll probably go
Yeah,
in
I'll
this one then.
Be front then, and then I'll run
you go
back
in.
if I need to.
All right.
I'll go at the back then.
I'll go in the middle, just because I think it's just again, if I can reach you both with both sides with my healing.
Should
Thor
we
can go.
put our cart in the middle and then Talari and Turi can ride it? And then there's
Could do
Walk us
actually,
in
yeah.
front.
Thorn and I up the front, like free for combat, rather than having to worry about the horse.
Could do. Yeah, if
That's what I do.
the merchants are willing for that. I don't know if they like you're protecting as you're in front. But if they're happy for us to go in the middle, then yeah, that makes sense.
Well, we would be in the we would be at the front.
I mean,
the
like our
cart
wagon, that's all. But yeah, that's
wouldn't
fine.
Be at the front.
Yeah. Well, they might not want to put like their wares up in front.
That's
all.
fine.
But
If we're doing
Shepard and Brogme will
Cool.
position their cart to the front.
We're
Well,
doing
we
that.
gonna-
Nadia, I think you're probably best to be walking at the front with your
Yeah, that's what I
carrying
meant.
bags. I will. I don't know. Talari, how you feel about? I can't remember if our horse has a name. Does a horse have a name?
I feel like we gave it a
Called
name, but I
Dwarf, to
can't
be
remember.
fair.
I feel like we gave it a name.
We did give it a name, I forgot.
Horsey.
but-
Horsey.
No,
Cool.
it had a name, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh,
It
you
was
with,
Elot once upon a
It was
time.
Elot, yeah, and then we changed
Was
it.
Elot and
Stallion.
bloody hell, Dom's character named it something silly that I can't remember now.
That probably
I think
explains why
that's
we
not-
can't remember it. Why don't we call it Guile, in memory of Guile?
Oh, that is a great.
It's just called-
Okay, there you go. Who?
I'm
How
happy
do you
with that.
feel about moving Kyle Jr.? I'm okay.
You know what? I
with
wouldn't even be
animals.
surprised that's what he called it. Honestly.
We should go back and check.
No, I think it is.
It
I think you're
It
right.
was
Yeah.
he tried to name it Guile Jr. And we were
It
like,
was
"Ha,
Guile
ha,
Jr..
ha."
That was
Sounds
a
like
complete
some-
coincidence.
But nobody.
Like the idea of we all laughed, but actually it's the only name that's stuck in our brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else ever bothered naming it anything else because Nadia just calls it horse, and therefore it's the only name we've given it.
Krusk just avoids it because it's racist.
Krusk avoids it because it's racist.
I will still call it horse.
I will give it a go because I can quickly jump off if needs be.
He knows
Yes.
how to go in a straight line. It's not that difficult.
Follow the one in front, I suppose.
Ah, that was it, it's not that
Can I
difficult.
put
roll
City
that
in the
one.
middle, Matt? Because I don't want him being exposed to the dragons potentially.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, put City in the middle.
Yeah,
he
he
can
can-
be wherever you wish to put him.
I'll just be like, be brave, City.
I'll
Be in
keep
the middle.
City company.
Are you in the middle? Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me, Thoradin?
I have no idea where I am. I just keep
Well, it's up
changing.
to you where you want to go. I've just moved the cart to the middle, so I had to move things around.
Everyone who's in the car got moved. As
I
well.
think
Yeah, so
two
wherever you
heavy
wanna go.
heavy hitters up front.
Yep.
One defensive hitter on the back. And
Yeah.
us two in the middle able to maneuver. Is
Yes.
sensible.
Yes, ma'am.
Strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, having a sorcerer at the back is necessarily Without.
Ah, but I am tank sorcerer.
He
He
is
is
not
tank
just
sorcerer.
he is the
He looks
shield.
tank. Yeah, he looks tank.
He is
Alright.
tank sorcerer.
Okay.
Remember, I can amp up to 30 AC if needed.
Yes,
so-
yes, and we
Exactly,
also
so
know you
he is
can't
the
dodge
shield.
for
As long as
shit.
you don't encounter another fireball, you're laughing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bloody fireballs. Shouldn't be
Oh, what
allowed.
a shame that would be.
Ow.
Breath weapon that you have to do a dexterity check on. What?
That is true. Arthur has helped me out with dex checks now with the ring. So.
True.
Yeah, you're
That's
welcome.
true. You've got
Nice.
the dex thingy to help you.
Where did I jot down the ring? Oh, I see it. Yep.
Yeah, it should help you
So
with
is
dex. Hey,
so is-
spell.
Are
Well,
people
look at that,
happy
by the way,
with?
Matt.
Thanks, Spellerina. Just
Yeah, it's nice.
he's a good one. So is everybody happy with this? Is the approximate order of your caravan? So you have Nadia and Thoradin up front, walking with the wolf Vulva, with Jappa and Brogmir leading the caravan, and Elazura and Ichiro next with Turygurtha and Talari in your cart, with Hydro bringing up the rear with Krusk in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, so who's got your? So Hydro's got his torch. Ichiro's got Elazura's torch. Brogmir's got Jappa's torch. Who's got the torch out of you guys?
That's what the
I'll
dogs do.
take it.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
take
it.
it. Okay, so Thoradin's got the torch. Okay, so you guys start to head off. It's quite a slow going, but that's to be expected from going in caravans. Reminiscent of simpler times for most of you, perhaps. And so, as you leave Lathander Ridge, you get a few good miles of walking before you start to see the mists start to delve, start to get slightly thicker as you start walking. And there's a point in the mists where Thoradin, I think you're the most in tune with this here, but you all get a sense of like static electricity as you start to go through like like a barrier point. Like you've been around for this about 10 minutes, and then it's just like once you walk through like a wall of static electricity, and you just like get that tingle and a little chill in the air, and it just starts to smell a bit more damp. And
Beard just like go like.
yeah, it's not quite full static, but it's just like you get that little tingle, and you all get a sense of this is going to be a long few days walk in the caravan. So, can I have Thoradin?
Yep.
Can you please roll a survival check for me, please? As you're the one holding the torch.
How much did they pay us up front, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to add.
200 each.
You paid 1,000 gold total up front, and you split 200 each
200 each.
between you.
Oh no,
You
I
get
did.
1,000 on.
Okay, that's fine.
And you get 1,000
Yeah.
on delivery of at least one of the caravans. Whatever it is.
At least one. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good deal.
It is a very good deal.
What'd you get?
Probably gonna
Thoradin?
need that deal.
Loophole.
Unlucky 13.
Ooh. Okay. So, Nadia, you're walking with Thoradin, and as the damp kind of just it settles into your bones as
Yeah, she's not a fan.
you're walking through, like you see Olva just start to like try and shake the water off, the dampness start to settle on her, and like it's one of those ones where this isn't going to go away anytime soon. And you look over at Thoradin, and you start to see like the torch is like really beginning to like dim down. Thoradin isn't really paying attention too much to this torch, and it's a risk of going out.
They're gonna reach over and poke him.
He doesn't really care about the torch. He thinks it's a whole farce. What's
She's
wrong,
gonna reach
Nadia?
over and poke him. It's not supposed to go out, remember?
Oh shit! I mean, he'll just like shake it about. Just try and like shake it into my shop. Come on, come on!
The
What's this
action
damn
of it,
thing?
Yeah.
It's not a
anything
lighter.
happen?
Can you-
Lighter?
Why is it not?
Shake the fluid, yeah.
Okay, yes. So you can roll the survival check again, please, with
Oh, okay.
advantage, because Noni is trying to help you refocus.
Ooh. Okay, that's
Excellent. Poking people
19.
can give them advantage.
19. Okay. So with a bit of a new focus, you do manage to just catch the torch in the right angle, and it manages to catch the fuel going, and so it's a lot more stable than it was. There's no longer fear of going out, and so throughout most of the rest of the day, you're traveling. It's slow going. It's quite long. Really, it's not quite boring. Of those of you in front, as you see behind you, you can just about see. So for Nadia and Thoradin, as you look behind you, you can just about see Turygurtha and Talari in their cart, but you can't see much further behind the cart, and so it's a good so I say 60 feet, probably 60, 70 feet before it starts to get difficult to see beyond that. And so it's hey, it was a good guess.
Yeah.
So it's a good like 60 feet or so before it starts to get pretty difficult to see, and it's still quite slow going. You get a sense that quite quiet. You do hear some like wildlife as you travel, and it's quite calm. Birds and chittering of animals as they run off and around you, but it's can be haunting at the same time. The owl hooting out of nowhere can jut some of you awake, as to be like, oh, there's actually stuff out here still. It's not just you guys on your own. But through divine providence, or through some sheer luck, or maybe you're just too near the city, from what you feel is a good time to rest. It's been quite uneventful. It's been fairly smooth going, apart from the boredom for most of you.
And
It's
do we see anything? Have we seen anything out of the ordinary? So again, like looking for caves or any kind of, I suppose it's like any evidence of something large moving through the area.
not really. You've been sticking mainly to the main road, so far, been pretty chill as things go. But who knows how the rest of the travel will go.
Okay.
So you decide to make camp for the night. So how would you like to set up your camp? Do you want to stay near the road, or do you want to head slightly further out?
Stay near the road, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah.
We'll never fucking find it again if we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave the road.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
with how uneventful the road has been, that's kind of what you want from this. So if it's been that uneventful, then it's probably best to stick to it.
Yeah. And like set up like a defensive, like circle the wagons sort of thing.
Probably would. Probably go back to our 2-man watch rotation. So the rotation we had before, where there's always 2 people on at time. We had. I'm pretty sure we had written down somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
that's fine. Your Caravaners are also. It's expected that they also take part in part of the watch. They're not just complete layabouts. They're willing to take part to keep the whole group safe. As necessary. Oh, sorry.
I just saw a little turtle there in the
Sorry,
bush.
I didn't see him before when I copied everyone across, so I made him again a bit bigger. Got better eyes than me.
okay.
So you guys make a defensive perimeter. Can everybody roll survival checks for me, please, to see how well you feel you did?
That wasn't so great.
11.
17.
Hold on, Krusk on yours. That was impressive. 18. Sure. 11.
I got a 10.
Oh,
Rolled
Nadia,
quite
easy.
badly. I know. I rolled like a whole 4. It's a bugger.
Krusk, what did you get?
18.
And okay, so it's odd. You guys, you manage to like in your normal routine, you're able to set up camp as you normally have. It's a bit strange for some of you because this is probably the largest, like the most amount of like things you've had to set up camp for. Most times you've been able to just set up for your one cart or with all the other soldiers you've camped with. They all just they just chill with themselves really. So it's probably the most amount of things that you've had to try and set up for. So because you other guys are supposed to be running the show, it's a bit of a distraction, and there's always something in the back of your minds that you think you could do better somehow, and you can feel free to spend some more time to try and do better, or you can get off to your normal watch.
I'll just set up like noise traps. If people get ambushed along this road, then forewarning of that. Like, I'm not sure what kind of resources this like natural area has got, but some kind of perimeter.
That's part of your setup. That's absolutely fine.
Cool.
Just double checking on that.
Oh, Talari's going to cast create food and water for everybody.
Hey.
Give us the basic shit.
Yeah.
Where's my steaks at?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from the magical display, everyone is quite impressed. It's like, wow, food in an instant. Then you usually have to take hours to do this. But some people like take their first bite. It's like, oh,
It's
this
still
isn't
porridge, isn't it?
Well, no,
It's
I think
bland.
you can take as much as any image as you wish.
Yeah.
So there
Tastes
is
like
like
porridge and boiled potatoes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like it looks like a really nice juicy steak potentially, but if you take bite, it's like, oh, this ain't good steak. It's like taking like imitation like fake meat if you're like a meat eater and you have like a tofu. It's like
Vegan stuff.
it's like someone has prepared something that's like something like really tofu, or like couscous for the first time. You don't season it very well. It's fairly bland.
It's like sort of plain rice or plain bread or something that you just don't.
Yeah.
Dry chicken.
Terry will be like, "What do you mean? This is great." This is
Yeah,
what
have
we do all the
a
time."
Yeah. The water's clean. Like the water is clean and is fine. Like it's all drinkable.
It's not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, you know. Like, even just on the water in itself is
Survival
quite handy.
situation.
It's a handy thing to have all that water.
Yeah.
Just water. Any ale?
No, unfortunately, it's
Why?
just water. It's just water, unfortunately.
Japper.
And it feeds the horses as well, so it's enough to feed enough to sustain 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. So, so it'll feed the horses as well.
Japper will go into his car to bring out a cask of what looks to be a fairly good vintage dwarvish ale, and he goes, "Well, thank you for taking us well so far. Let's celebrate first day on the road. Hand out tankards to you all who wish to partake in some
Well,
ale."
thank you.
Oh,
I don't.
Thoradin's
know.
snatching that one. Thoradin's taking 2 then.
I stick to water and tea.
Have one.
Thoradin's
She
taking
won't
3
have like
then.
more than one because she's doing a job, but she will have one.
Yeah, even Brogmere takes a tankard, and there's a
I assume Krusk partakes.
Krusk will stick to 1 as well.
It's fair.
He'll put on a puppet show for City because I'm going to use shape water to make the water form simple shapes and animate in my direction.
I love that you're doing a puppet show for a cat called City. That's so good.
Do you do like sounds or like?
I'll have to do the sound effects myself, but yeah, I'll animate the water.
Can you roll a performance check for me, please? Because I think a lot of all the other people are going to be interested in this.
Come on.
I'm just gonna lean into one of them and
14?
just be like, "We don't usually travel with him." he's new.
So yeah, so you're using shape water and a bit of dancing lights and stuff. You managed to put on a fairly convincing like puppet like shadow show. And like the cat's city is definitely entranced. You even got Orva looking with just like placid fascination. And yeah, a lot of the people, it's like it's it's like a nice thing that's like taking the weight of the worry off everyone's minds.
Mm.
It's a good distraction, and everyone feels just like it's lighting everybody's hearts. It's a good bit of just like joy that's in the mists, as everyone's been able to just take the weight of the world off their shoulders.
Nice.
And as the day turns to night,
Somebody turned out the lights.
Dun-dun.
dun, dun.
I love that map change. You've
Oh,
got
it's
like
so
a day
good.
one and a night one.
So good.
Although it's like
That's
in
very
video
fair.
games where it's suddenly like boom, nighttime. Like,
Yeah.
no gradual sunset, just like
No.
slap.
Yeah.
Nightfall
Would you
is
not-
pretty literal.
Well, especially in the mist, it's, I can get with it the most.
557, 558, 559, 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it. Done.
Yeah. But yeah, so nighttime again. It's oddly quiet for those of you who've taken watch. You're not quite sure. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. For all the like the fears and all the rumor that you heard on Lathander Ridge, it's unnervingly quiet. And partway through the night, in Krusk's tent, you just see a glowing occur. Glows from a torchlight to like dancing lights light to practically full on daylight. It's just like a beacon coming through his tent.
Who's watching
And-
this?
In an instant it goes.
Which is this?
Whose watch is this?
Other than, like the only person we know it for sure isn't is Cross.
Yeah.
It's either Turi or Talari's watch on our end, but I guess the other question is what NPCs have decided to stay up with us, because I know that
I wish I had that list now of.
We'll say who. So it's definitely the later on in the night. So definitely would have been a part of the second half of your watch.
I do the
Whoever
darker
had to-
parts.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Not very dark this time.
Yes,
no, not very dark this time.
Yeah, so we'll say for this purpose, this Turygurtha is your watch, and we'll have Elazora, who's also on watch with you, witness this.
I'd like to think there'll be some small conversation of, so how did you get into your business? Oh, that's so interesting. How nice to know. What the fuck is that? I'm gonna run and kick Krusk.
He could be reading a book, you know. Just like
I'm still gonna run in
Wow.
and kick him.
What?
Just
What on
tear
earth
the
is
tent
that?
flap. What the fuck?
Wow.
Genuinely kicking you though, Krusk.
I mean, yeah, Grass will kind of like start and wake up and
What the
pretty
fuck
hard
happened
to.
to you? Are you
Uh,
a demon now? Do I have to kill you? Tell me now.
That's kind of like look at you like a bit confused. And you possibly see
What now?
maybe
What
his
now?
eyes have perhaps recaptured some of their prior innocence. Just a little bit, just a smidge.
Go, Cross! You do is kick him!
And she'll kind of just look up. He'll just look up and say, Turi? God, just had the strangest dream. And he kind of like look down at his arms and hands and say, how have I been living the last few weeks? I feel so much better now. I feel whole
Fucking
again.
trick.
Hmm?
Is this a fucking trick?
Krusk is gonna kind of just stand up from the bed, and he's gonna just go right over to Turi and like put his hands on her shoulders type thing.
Okay, no, this feels weird.
This isn't
This
a
is
trick.
definitely Crusk weird.
Turi, I can't say I'm back, but I had a dream last night, and
It's not.
sorry,
Just
just now. And,
Still nighttime.
I think Tyr came back to me, and he offered me the chance to be whole again, and I took it. I took the chance, and kind of looks down again at just like his body and his arms and his hands, and he says, I don't know what this means exactly for me, but it is me, Turi.
She wants to believe it.
Design and truth him.
Can you do a Zone of Truth right now? No,
Yeah, zone of truth me, which I take as a good sign.
If it is truly you, son, do you know what happened to you? Do you know what Cleric did?
Okay, I need to check something back quickly. So Matt, the thing that was going on before, is that over now?
as far as you know.
Okay, as far as I know. So it is kind of like, have I like come from there and I'm like kind of back here and merged, or like how's that worked exactly?
Who the fuck knows? I mean,
Okay.
it's not very hazy. You can imagine, like from like you were under like a lot of stress. You can imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So Krusk is gonna kind of like sink back down like onto the bed. He kind of looks like, yeah, he's pretty kind of like stressed out, and he's gonna say, maybe we should talk about this with the others. I want to answer you, Turi, but it's difficult for me to talk about, and I'm still processing quite a lot. I haven't been where you think I've been.
Okay. I need an insight or something. Like, does Turi get like old Krusk vibes? Because obviously, like, new Krusk was.
You want a vibe check?
I want a vibe check. I want to. How good do I feel this Krusk is? Do I feel like this is the friend I made before, not the dickhead who turned out?
Well, yeah, because like neutral Krusk was like really shifty. Like you always felt that he was
Yeah,
hiding something, whereas
exactly.
Krusk was like everything was out.
Krusk was beautifully honest and everything. It was great.
Yeah.
I think it's probably too early to tell for sure, because like you've literally seen this glow stop and then run and kick him. So like whatever, like so you can sorry, from your vibe you can sense of Krusk. Like this is probably going to take time for Krusk to come to terms with, like, if this is really good Krusk, like returned to some extent, then.
But
it might take some time.
It's definitely it feels very different to the Krusk I was talking to like yesterday, for example.
Different enough.
Different enough. Okay. I think then what she'd probably do is.
You could probably imagine it's difficult to ever. If you could probably imagine it's difficult to ever imagine that the good Krusk ever return in the same way. Like you can probably imagine you probably come to terms with Krusk never coming back in the same way as he did. As good Krusk as he was the paladin of Tyr.
Okay.
But this might be a modicum of that, potentially. You don't know.
She'd probably hug him. Say, Krusk, if this is really you, I am so glad you're back. I've been trying really, really hard, and it has been really hard to be as nice as you. If you are not Krusk and this is bullshit, I will be killing you tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Krusk is gonna hug Turi back, and he's gonna kind of like look up at her, and he's just gonna say, "Turi, I don't think anything I can say will express how sorry I am for what I have put you through. And if you want me to leave, if that's what you need to kind of make peace with what's happened, then just say the word, and I'll."
God, this is good Krusk right there. That's yep.
Got the right one there.
If after you saying that, she'll cuddle you again. She'll be like, "Okay, no, that sounds good. Normal you is great. You can stay."
Krusk will just kind of like nod wordlessly, and I mean, presumably Turi will kind of get up at some point, but he'll kind of just sort of tell her that. I will explain everything in the morning. Just give me the night.
Yes, get some sleep, rest, and as I said before, if this is bullshit, killing you tomorrow.
Krusk nods.
Guys, over to Elizora. Okay, so it's a long story, Elizora, but if I can just quickly explain, so...
Yeah,
He wasn't really himself for the past few months, and a few things happened to him, some gods issues.
Damn, what a poor guy.
I know, it's terrible, really terrible. The person who came back, though, was a bit of a dick, but it seems like he's back to his normal self, so I don't know what that light was, but looks all good.
Well, we only hope and pray.
Like, you are very nice, by the way. It's so nice chatting to you.
But thanks. I have a natural charisma, and you see it just exudes out of my skin.
You're just very friendly, very, very friendly. I'm not very talkative, but you, it's easy.
It's one of those things where it's my bedside manner is pristine. I'm just telling you right now, I could sing a kid to sleep. And if they could be crying out loud, and I would just be like la la la, and it would just go bam, straight to sleep.
Do you think you could do that with an adult dwarf? I think we might need to. If you see any scaly things, just maybe.
I mean, let's not hope it doesn't result to that, but potentially.
I'm just saying, because he's a bit of a loose wire. He could go off in an instant.
Well, we'll see how this goes. And for the rest of the night, it is again oddly quiet, and the odd like crack of a twig you hear now and again, and you like on nerves you go out and investigate, but it's either a rabbit that's like can't very too close and scurried away, or like a squirrel or a mouse, or some kind of nighttime thing. It could be. It's been quiet, and the morning comes round again. It's, from what you can tell, it's been morning, at least in the mists. It's a new day.
Okay.
Oh, not all of you have restful nights.
Krusk's like magical girl transformation then.
Just gonna nudge Krusk. So, you want to chat now? I have lots of questions, especially about the whole tier thing.
Yeah, Krusk is gonna. Hang on, I think my mic's going funny.
A moment.
Drum roll, please. What has happened to Crack? Oh no! What happened? What happened?
Fighting between
you
themselves.
see, my question is, how the fuck did Tyr help him? Because I'm pretty sure Tyr got imprisoned, right?
Well, this is what I'm curious about. Yeah.
It's not too.
Is my mic okay now?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, no, you're not getting our feedback, so.
Okay, I have a bad feeling it's dying on me, but anyway, sorry. Yes, so yeah, Krusk will kind of sigh, and he'll kind of say like, yes, I'm ready to talk, and I think you all deserve to know the truth.
Could we have a quick sidebar, like saying to the rest of the random NPCs?
Yeah, you can imagine everyone else is just like preparing for their day. Like breakfast is getting sorted and things.
Great, we're just gonna shift off over
Just,
here.
like shuffle over to the side, yeah.
So, Krusk is going to kind of like look around at everyone and say, so something happened last night and things have changed with me, and I'm sorry. I'm sure you're all sick of all these sort of transformations and bad things that are happening. But, I don't quite understand it myself, to be honest with you. The last few months, I have been a prisoner of Cleric, and he has been tormenting me. I know that you have had a Krusk here in your presence, and of course, I don't blame any of you. I know he conveniently left out the part where I was Cleric's prisoner and being
Well,
tortured.
hang on.
Yep.
Wait. I think...
No.
Is this going where we're going? I think we're going. I think we're going to need to put a zone of truth down. Because I've had enough of Krusk's bullshit. This could be another one of his little methods
You know,
to getting us over to his side.
I have to be honest. I did feel like that last night when he woke up. It was weird. There was a glowing orb and everything. I kicked him. So if it is good Krusk, sorry. If it is bullshit, not sorry. So yeah, I'd like a zone of truth too. No offense, Krusk, or anything.
Right.
Krusk
I
just says,
summons.
I understand.
Right, she uses zone of truth.
Okay, you won't resist.
Okay.
Ah, good.
Now you may continue, Krusk.
Chicken.
Okay,
Does
well,
everybody resist, or does they all...
Can't be asked at this point.
Okay, so you're all beholden to the zone of truth rules.
Cool. So Krusk will reiterate what he said. Just he'll kind of quickly go back through it, and he'll say, "So, when I fell when we were fighting the Necromancer, I was withheld. I was held back. I was kept a prisoner of Cyrix, and yeah, as I said, he tortured me. And you were left with what was an agent of Cyrix and somebody who eventually broke away from Cyrix. And to give him credit, he accepted me back. And to be honest, I was starting to lose hope. You guys didn't know where I was. You didn't know what was happening to me. There was a Krusk here who had taken my place, and I didn't think he would ever accept me back. He has shown no signs of it. He had his own goals that he was working towards, but I guess something changed, and he accepted me back. And I think I was taken. I was freed from Cleric. Like I said, it's all a bit hazy, and I woke up here, and Turi was standing over me.
So we're meant to believe...
Sorry about the kick.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, obviously you're telling...
Needed for you to escape Cleric was for the other Krusk to accept you back as part of you?
I was. He looks kind of like pained at this point, and he says, "I was completely helpless. There was nothing I could do to get away from Cleric. I didn't even have a body. I was just a spirit. And Tyr appeared to Krusk to me. I don't even know at this point. He appeared to us, I guess you can say, and he offered us a deal to be whole again, and Krusk accepted.
But
and
how? We've been told
Punished.
Tyr has been put in chains and prisoned,
Kicked off the edge
banished.
of the world or whatever the fuck. I don't
So,
know.
I was surprised as you are. He did mention that. I'm just double checking my dream diary.
Dream diary was
Don't your
important.
memories!
I
Yeah.
noticed you writing it down as I left. It's very good to keep that on top of that.
he did mention that this may be the last time he would ever speak to me, and I don't know if that means this was his final act or just the final time he would just directly talk to me.
How does he have any power to even to give you a deal?
Was the god?
So that was the last of his power.
Krusk
Yeah.
just kind of like shrugs helplessly.
It doesn't
like,
just disappear.
So you are both good Krusk and neutral Krusk in one.
Technically, neutral Krusk was always there. We just ended up getting neutral Krusk only coming back. I
I
think.
believe it was.
He was as
almost like-
neutral as all that. The guy was sometimes a complete asshole.
That's true.
I'm sorry for whatever I said in the previous answer.
Sorry for what I said, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
The way
It's
I
okay, Guts. We don't blame you.
the way I look at it is, I was sort of cracked into pieces, and you had one piece come back, and Tyr, as possibly his final act, and I am grateful to him for it, has
Glued it back
pieced
together.
us back together. He hasn't been able to piece us back, the exact way I was before, but we are back, and I am whole now.
What was the deal?
No deal. He simply offered it to me.
I think they both had to agree.
Oh,
I mean, perhaps it did need my consent. I obviously would have always. I just wanted to escape from Cyric. There was never anything in my, from me which would have said no. And as I said, I was worried. I lost hope that other Krusk would accept, but he accepted. I think I have to thank you, all of you. My memory's a bit hazy, but you must have convinced him. You must have said something to him that changed his outlook, because I truly didn't believe he was going to accept me back.
I'm not going to lie, I did tell him that I'd kill him and try bring him back and see if you turned up, but that's water under the bridge, right?
I just find it really hard to believe Neutral Krusk even agreed to this. He seemed very adamant.
That's my question, because I feel like the deal must have been for him, not for you. Does he still exist? Somewhere in your head?
He does. As I said, we're now whole. Neutral Cross hasn't gone anywhere. I am him, and I am me.
You're also
and-
the other one.
Yes, and we're the same person. I am.
In
one
that
person.
case, surely you know why one neutral Krusk, half of you accepted.
Keeps him alive.
That's my thought.
Maybe he didn't want to fight.
Hung up on that.
He didn't want to fight the dragon.
You really didn't want to die.
Keeps him alive. It stops.
Deal
it
was, we
stops
don't fight the
us-
dragon.
Yeah. It
Sorry.
stops us forcibly trying to get rid of him in favour of the other one.
That's very
Oh, that's
true.
true. Yeah.
I think what it came down to in the end is
Maybe he actually felt bad.
I think a part of him did feel that he was becoming it's difficult to put this into words. It's a part of him was thinking he didn't want to become just alone and selfish, and I think he realized in the end that by rejecting a part of himself, he was essentially losing a part of what made him, himself. Yeah, exactly.
You,
Yeah.
me, I.
And again, I have to thank all of you guys, because I think that if you hadn't opened his eyes to that fact, and he would have never realized that, and I would still be with Sarah.
You, our friend, by telling his doppelganger he was being an ass. Because I'm starting to get the feeling that we rescued Krusk by convincing the doppelganger that nobody liked him because he was an asshole.
I mean, I liked him.
Are we assholes for being such?
Well, no.
It's not a problem.
Are we gonna just bully this guy into submission? I'm not sure now.
Fury, you've healed me. You've saved me, and I.
That's true. I wanted to do that.
Wasn't bullying.
It's not bullying if it's perfectly true.
At the end of the day, we made the choice ourselves. Nobody pressured us into it.
So-
It was
so-
choice.
You say that you split into many pieces, but only 2 of them got put back together. How many pieces of you are there?
That's just the way I picture it. You'd have to ask Tyr.
Well, you said you were made whole, but
Down
not
the
fully
middle.
whole.
I am whole, but I
Differently
can
whole.
tell. Yeah, I can feel that I'm not the same person that I used to be, and that was just the best way I could think to describe it.
I have
don't
a
really
really,
understand it
really
myself.
important question.
Yeah.
Do you still do the magic-y stuff?
He's gonna kind of look down,
Are you a mage?
and then he's gonna like flick his hands. Dancing lights comes out, and he'll say, "Yeah, I still can."
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't really know what to make of this. It seems very odd. And still very I'm very uncharacteristic.
We have God speaking to us in dreams.
He was cozy with Mistra though.
I think there's still something going on here. The natural Krusk is not a nice guy. There's no way, out of the goodness of his heart, he decided to let good Krusk back in.
I think he's saving his own skin. I think Nadia's right. He realized that we were pretty much going to kill him as soon as we got the chance to get our Krusk back, and that basically made him think, well, I better meld with the real Krusk and then I can survive.
So he's using.
I think it's survival.
So he's using the good Krusk as armor.
Ah.
Sorry, my poster just fell off the wall.
Again. Jeez,
Dude,
man.
it's fucked.
You get new magnets for it.
I've replaced some. I've ordered some replacement ones.
Cool.
Well, I guess it makes sense. That neutral Krusk was very had a bit of an armor fetish. I suppose it makes sense he'd don as more armor as he possibly could. Still very strange.
When you asked me a question, I was picking up the magnets.
How did Tyr look?
How did Tyr look?
Yeah.
Consult my dream diary.
What was it, the Profiteer? Or was it Cyric?
Yeah, that's part of my thinking as well.
I don't think I actually saw Tyr.
Like, has Cyric got a back door to Krusk now? You know, like he can just switch on neutral Krusk and you know, make him flip. You know.
I didn't actually see Tyr. He just spoke to me. He showed me memories of my past.
So do you do you remember everything that we've done until now? We're not gonna have to fill you in or anything.
No. It's like I said, it is me, and yeah, my memories are intact.
Well, that's saves some explanation, I suppose.
He did sound quite old and sort of worn down when he spoke to me. So yeah, it didn't sound like he was doing too well.
Sure.
Makes sense considering the situation.
He's very frail. We kind of accidentally dumped him in it.
I mean, yeah.
So if you're aware of everything, then you're aware of our current plans. One is kill a god, and the other one is find evidence on Cyric that he betrayed and pretended to be Tyr.
Never mind.
And free Merkel. And free Merkel from the medallion.
Oh yes, and free Merkel from the medallion. That's the first thing we're doing, and we're still trying to sort that out.
Actually, where is your stance on this, Krusk? I'm curious. Now that you are reformed, what is your belief that we should do with the this medallion?
I fear that Mistra has her own agenda that she's playing at. I'm not sure if I trust her to do what's best for humanity or for us as a whole if we give her the medallion. It was interesting when I spoke to her before. She was kind of being a bit evasive when I was asking her what she was going to do when we turned over the medallion.
We know the feeling.
Oh, we know the feeling. Especially during a zone of truth.
Yeah.
I think your plan's a good one. I think we should try and get the medallion pieces ourselves and release Miracle. And I think we should kill Cyric. I think he's too dangerous, and I might be biased, you know, because of what he's done to me personally. But I just think he's a dangerous god, and I think if we don't bring him to justice, who will?
I think the kill a god thing is probably aimed at Cyric. It's a choice of evidence against him or killing him.
I have two issues with this. Well, sort of three. One, getting there. Two, we've now gone from killing dragons to killing gods. And three, even if we were
dragons.
If we were to even kill Cyric, wouldn't they just ascend someone else to his position? and then the same thing happens again.
Could have a Merkel situation. I mean, would it be so terrible if you had a crappy god of lies?
I mean, killing a god doesn't necessarily mean that position is gone.
No, maybe something in between. More of a banishment thing. I've been thinking about it. It took 3 of them to bind Merkel into these medallions. Maybe, with some convincing, Cleric could be bound as well. Kind of like his own torturous prison forever.
So you're
Not
thinking...
that I'm bitter.
Very interesting. So you're saying if we free Merkel from this medallion, we have a perfectly good medallion that can seal a god in it.
In 5 separate parts that can be within 5 separate vaults, places, whatever.
The people who originally used the medallions though were extremely powerful. Mystria was among them, and there were 2 other. I think it was Zoof. Was one of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You are our contact with Mr.
Yes,
And-
I don't know how my relationship with her stands now, but I'm certainly willing to get as much information as we can use from her.
At least have a communication line, I'm thinking.
We have Arg for Azuth.
Yep. Who was the third?
Do we know the third?
We do.
Stavros.
Wow.
So say
I
that
was
again.
about to say I have it in my notes.
Stavros, the god of divination.
So we'll need something for that then. But yeah, I mean, if we can figure that one out, I feel that might be our best plan.
It's kind of a different option, but maybe if we can't get the evidence, it might be something a bit easier than complete and outright killing. Especially if we can get other gods on side.
Oh, I think we'd need a lot of bloody evidence for them to agree to it.
Depends if some of the rest of us also get the offerment of champions favor for favor.
True.
I'm not sure if we really want to be champions.
I mean, one of the things you can ask.
Oh,
one of the.
You asked? What?
Oh, no.
I may have asked last night.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Thoradin, what happened?
What did he say?
No, this is not good.
Oh no.
What does he
I
want
fear-
out of you, man?
I fear I've gone too far.
What does he want
and-
out of you?
I think I may have caused a mess with what I've done.
Wait, is there another
A
reveal
mess.
happening?
Yeah. It has its own truth gone.
No, it's
No,
still
yeah.
up. It's still up.
Oh, okay.
It's 10
I was gonna
minutes.
say we got 10
It's
minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah. So it's yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Okay, okay. Zone of Truth
Schedule.
rules. You are not allowed to tell a direct lie, but you can speak around the truth.
Yeah. The truth of a mission
Got
through a mission,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Come on,
Can
Matt.
I-
No, you have to tell a complete truth.
Yeah.
So you,
I don't remember what Crusk did before.
Yes.
You can
I
be
think-
evasive, but
Don't you
you'll
fucking
see it.
start. You're tall enough that I can pick you up by the ankles, I see. Dangle you until
Yeah.
you
No, I think I'm going to tell the truth. Okay, so
Done.
I asked Talos what
Right.
would it mean for me to be his champion.
Right.
And what I got returned, I really did not expect, and I have to apologize for what I've done. I've crossed the line. I was always hungry for power. I've never had this power before, wielding this hammer, but the power within the hammer to cast lightning. And as you know, I have been casting lightning every day, every
Mhm.
night. I was naive to what I thought would be harmless, but
I didn't.
well, you were right because I've caused a bit of a storm around this world, and
I knew
the
it.
effects of this storm could
Fucking knew it.
kill hundreds. Could kill hundreds. I saw a tsunami on its way to a city. I don't think we're near this city right now, but this tsunami is gonna kill those people, or at least ruin them. And it's me that caused that. And Talos was, he said I could be his champion. His power is my power. His strength is my strength, and together we could cause a storm around the region. And
Do whatever you liked. Yeah. Nadia's gonna put both her hands
Yeah.
on Thoradin's shoulder and say, "Did you really think you were getting this for free?"
I've never experienced anything like this before. We're all in new territories with these gods. We don't entirely know what they're going to be up
Is there
to.
any way to stop the storm, Thoradin? Is it
Ah,
too
do we?
late?
Do you
No.
have any? Do you know what it
You
is?
cannot
I have
combat
no idea.
something that huge
No.
Yeah.
unless
I-
you are yourself a god. He has
Yeah.
the natural forces of the wind and the waves behind him. What the hell is anybody gonna do?
I have
Yeah.
other
This might be,
thoughts,
might be,
maybe.
might be a bit out of our league, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well,
But
my question is,
there is
what
a-
region?
there is a
Where
bright.
was it?
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Do I know, Matt, where it was?
She'll bring up the
It
map.
was the coast.
It was a city on the coast,
Yeah.
certainly.
That's as far as I really
Okay.
know.
All right.
Um,
All right.
I don't
Thinking
really
more
know
along the lines
when.
of we try evacuate some people, but
Might be
Well,
too.
I
We might be
don't
too
know
far
when
away.
it-
Warning, but if you don't know where it is,
no,
Yeah.
you lost it.
Yeah, there's too many
could be
coastal
pretty
cities for
far
that for you to do that. Well, I suppose this is one good one silver lining to all of this. We don't have to kill any dragons.
Thoradin,
That-
did you tell him that you won't be his champion?
Shit. Wait.
Oh yes.
So that's where it gets a bit hazy.
Oh God, Thoradin.
I don't. I'm in a predicament. I think I've gone too far with what I've done with Talos.
pissed
And,
if you tell him to fuck off.
Thoradin, you can't be his champion anymore. I mean, this is really serious now, right?
You could kill millions.
I already have. I'm already a murderer. What? I don't know what to do.
Do it before you started
Look at-
this. I mean, it's our job.
Oh well,
Yeah,
one, I
both
mean
warriors.
one thing.
Look at me. I've killed so many people. I didn't think I could
Mm.
come back from it, and I'm working on it. It's
True.
arduous, but I'm working on it. It can be done.
There's hope there.
Do
Yeah.
not need to continue down such a path.
I think the first thing you should do is bury that hammer. Get rid of it.
Fucking
No.
put it in the no.
No.
Put it away.
Thoradin.
I'm not giving away
Thoradin.
this power.
This
This
is-
hammer.
this
It's
is the-
giving me so much.
Yeah, but this is how Talos is manipulating.
Manipulating.
No,
you.
it's not the
This-
hammer. It's
this-
it's within me. If I can cut the ties with Talos, I can keep this hammer.
But then it won't do
Surely.
anything. It'll just be a
Yeah,
hammer.
it
Oh.
won't be to zap you anymore, will it? Because the
Well-
lightning's his, isn't it?
I think that's something I'm gonna have to take. As much as I was power hungry, I've gone too far with this. I have to stop.
One
Okay,
thing
fine.
with you if it's another. First cursing people, now it's storms.
Well, I've never really like
Thought
Door
I had-
has consequences.
Thoradin.
I've never really thought of the consequences, but now this is serious. This is
Bloody bloody
hundreds of
not.
people.
Thoradin, it's not your look. It's not your fault. None of us could have predicted that the storm was coming. But what?
Oh, no, we
Sorry,
some of us
it's
did.
not your fault. The God of Storms asked you for a little favour.
An-
What, you
an
think
evil
it's gonna
god?
be
Nadia,
great?
An evil god. Evil
Look,
god of
guys.
storms.
Guys,
Well,
it's
well,
easy
you
to
know.
say this stuff in hindsight. None of us.
Yeah, until you experience it.
None of us stopped Thoradin from shooting off that lightning. You can criticize as much as you want. Nobody stopped
Yeah.
him. And Thoradin, look, I was gonna say, look, it's obviously it's a horrible thing that's happening. What you can control is what you do from now, and you have to break all ties with Talos.
I agree.
That's
Agreed.
the only way, Thoradin, that you
You
can.
cannot
You
change
make
the
a good
past.
point. We
Yeah.
didn't stop him. We fucking should have.
Hmm.
And I'm going to
Oh.
come out here and say that I told the goddess of winter storms that she could go fuck herself when she tried to pull a similar stunt on me.
There's a storms and a winter storms.
The goddess of winter, Orwell, of
Ah.
Orwell's tundra.
Oh, I see.
She
Sorry, dude.
threatened to kill my family if I wouldn't do what she said.
Well, are they okay still?
You've been to meet them.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully, I had an ace up my sleeve.
It's always
There
good.
is somebody that even she must bow to.
Nature?
Ah,
Bigger storm.
very clever.
Summer.
But no,
Thoradin,
yeah, Krusk,
you
you're right.
need to walk away from this because if you don't and you continue to affiliate with Talos, then it is your fault. The storm. Okay, if you don't want that blood on your hands, you need to cut all ties.
There's no longer an ignorance there.
Yeah.
You cannot
can't
hide behind
defend
that.
it.
Now that you're
Cool.
aware, you have to make a decision here.
The past
Can we
cannot be
make-
changed.
Can we make a group agreement? No more fucking around with evil gods. It's way more trouble than it's worth.
Fucking, I've been there for like months. Okay?
Like,
No.
okay, we now finally have Thoradin on side. Okay, and he's no longer like, I have all this power. It's amazing. And he's like, actually it's had a consequence. Who would have thought?
Hmm.
That, maybe no more fucking around with evil people who want us to do evil shit for evil reasons.
I mean, we
mostly about like shanking things and destroying things.
I mean, we're kind of
and-
3 for 3 here. Like, we've had Cyric, we've had what was your first one? Baal? No,
Yeah, we've had
That was my
Baal,
second one.
Yeah.
Cyric, Baal.
Cyric, Baal,
And,
Cyric's
and now
pissed off enough
Talos.
evil gods for like all
Yeah.
the whole group. Now we've got Talos.
yeah. I think
Yeah, join the club.
yes. I think we've 3 for 3
We might not
here.
have any choices. We might not have any. Oh, and we've pissed off Bane. We might not
Oh,
have any
yes.
choices about the whole god killing thing. We've got
Yeah.
enough of them after
Might be
our
not being
hands.
not many evil ones left. I think we've pissed them all off. Yes, can you pick your next one a bit more wisely, Thoradin?
Tempest to go and fuck himself as well. Actually, no. I told him. I politely declined his offer. I didn't tell him to go fuck himself. He was quite nice about it.
I've pissed off Shah, so I guess that's
You pissed off Shah.
yeah.
She evil.
Look, we're
Well,
all
she's got
very good at
darkness.
pissing
Darkness
off
and
gods,
loss.
but we all agree. Thoradin, piss off this one. Tell him no.
This one. Just add another one to the group.
Yeah.
And I think you can look somewhere else, maybe, for power that's less evil inclined.
Maybe
I
a
mean,
slightly more upfront payment.
Yeah. And
Well,
let's
then I think
let's
you
let's
need
face let's face it. One's gonna come knocking on your door as soon as you become free. Everyone's gonna.
Can
for
I-
some reason.
DM Master General, can I do a religion check? What gods can I think of that are lightning based that are actually good?
Not
While
a
they're
good
ready.
idea.
Or neutral, like good or neutral, I suppose. Like
Yeah, good or neutral. Neutral
That's
is.
That's the
That's-
big questions now.
I know it's a technical question. A
Yeah.
religion check if you want me to.
The light. Well, I mean, this is the world is God, so you're all going to be able to at least know God.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So Grumpsh is the Orc god of storms and war. He's chaotic evil as well. So originally when you got the hammer as Storm, it had a symbol of Talos and a symbol of Grumpsh on either side of the head. The weather gods are generally going to be bad news
which
in
pan
general,
is it? Forgotten Realms and something else, wasn't it? Was it
and the non-human deities.
non-human deities? Got you.
Generally speaking, weather gods are generally bad news bears, because they're going to try and bring shit at you. You've got nature is always a good neutral path to go down. If you're looking for the power route, there's like, well, you got Bahamut is now the god of law and such now. Helm is always a good one. He's god of protection. He's neutral. There's you could bring joy to the world with Lyra as a goddess of joy. Who knows?
Yeah.
So basically, all
You
weather
got
gods bad.
you've got gods of the sea, which I guess is the closest you're gonna, I suppose, get.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 of those.
Umbelese, goddess of the sea, is bad. You care to keep.
Yeah. Because you've got
There's an elf god.
Edro, who's Merfolk deity of the sea, who's a neutral, true neutral, and then Deep Sashelas, who's an elf god of god of the sea, who's chaotic good. But yeah,
There's
a few.
There's options.
Well, you could
around
always
if you
go
wanna
with
deep Sachilas.
Sashilas.
Maybe I am chaotic neutral, so that might work.
So yeah, there's plenty like options within around like the good and or neutral realm.
Goddess of fertility and protection.
Get a new theme.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this lining, but it's gone too far. All I can hear is the screams of those people in the city.
I think you need to decide, Thoradin. Is it power for power's sake you want, or do you want power to, achieve something a bit more profound? Do you want to protect
Why
people?
do you want to be powerful?
Yeah, because there's gods of, like law and protection and stuff, who I'm sure could grant you strength to, achieve those things.
It's been offered to me. Those gods have offered that stuff to me.
Could also go down
I
your
just-
money-hungry route. I'm sure there's gods of money out there.
Don't know, that's where the curses came from.
Again, yeah. I
You should
was
strive for
off
something a bit more Thoradin than money.
I guess the
Maybe this would be a
question-
wake-up call.
I guess the question is, why do you
One
feel you
more.
need it? I've always told you there is power in you.
Yeah. No, I listen to that.
Tap his
And
tattoo.
I respect that. Yeah. I think I just need to find my new purpose. I've always been hellbent on golden glory and power. You know, being able to smite down my foes. But
Nothing wrong with smiting down your foes.
yeah.
Tempest
In
God of War is neutral.
moderation.
Tempest God of War is neutral. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice.
That's a good route. I could go with that. Anyway, I think I need to cut ties with Talos.
Let's hope
Well,
he let.
Well, as you say, I just
No,
tell them to fuck off and go about my way. Keep this
I
hammer.
think it's
Get the-
first
get-
and
no,
there's
Thoradin, I
way
think
that
you-
he's gonna be able to cut ties nicely.
I think you're going to have to get rid of the hammer if you plan on fully cutting ties with him. If it's a conduit of Talos, then even if you
Maybe
tell him
blow
to
up.
fuck off, you can either blow up the hammer or just,
to be fair,
otherwise
if he's
harm
gonna
you.
Strike him with lightning. He's going to strike him with lightning. There's not much we can do about that.
There is that.
Although I have had a horrible thought.
Well, you said you
Actually,
could
no,
take
you want
lightning,
Dragons to be dead.
Yeah,
That's
I'm resistant.
fine.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, if he wants the
Worried
hammer,
the
he can.
dragons were gonna come after us because of this.
One of them is a
I think we
lightning
can
dragon.
forget.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk about a worry.
yeah.
I don't think he has domain of the dragons. They are very.
Well, it's true. There's a
He wanted me to kill them, so he
Yeah,
obviously
they-
told
Well,
me-
exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
I think they follow Tiamat more than they will follow him.
Or Bahamut, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we don't
I
have
mean,
to worry
these
about
are
the
evil, well
dragons.
followed
Yeah,
Tiamat.
not evil dragons that hang around ambushing travellers. They
That's
don't
true.
follow,
No, that's true.
uh,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Bahamut.
Yeah,
Bahamut's a good guy.
that's true.
Bahamut's
That's
very
very
not.
true.
Don't diss Bahamut or Tiri will give you a kick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's another one I said no to. Oh
I know.
Bahamut?
well.
Oh, I also have a Bahamut from my sword.
Yeah, you do.
It's true. Here's a good question. If you were
Right.
to not use the hammer, do we have something else for you to use in the meantime? Just a thought, just putting it out there, just in case we want.
Do.
All I have is
Distance
my
yourself.
fists. Yeah, I put a lot into this hammer.
Mm.
Yeah.
We'd have to
Yeah.
create a weapon, and it wouldn't be it wouldn't be the equal of the hammer, certainly.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna walk over to Hydra. So, if we were to trade you some super powerful magic weapon, what kind of
Don't take
weaponry
that
have you
deal.
got going on?
Well, next time on the Ascendant Lands, we'll find out.
Nice.
What does Hydra have to offer? We'll see.
Just one quick thing.
No.
When you asked me about the magic before, he looks less shadowy.
Interesting.
Okay.
That's so good to know.
Right. Okay. I'm ending it now.